Hey everybody, welcome back to the Outpost. You could see that we were burning on the timber some more, and I'm actually cutting up some more 7x7s. I decided to set a couple of purlins on each side of that central beam up there because the span is 14 feet from the edge, and then I'm going to of course have a hangover. And I've kind of changed up my mind. I was going to cut 3" by 6" rafters, put tongue and groove on the top of it and some other stuff, but anyway, when I got to figuring it out, I can do it differently using 2x6s and actually cut my cost in half. So I'll actually put my tongue and groove on the bottom side of it. I've also got, if you can see behind me here, I've got actually 2 stacks, one behind this one, some 2x6s that I started cutting yesterday, and I've just about got enough 2x6s for one side. Changing it up a little bit has cost me a little extra work, but all this wood is free because we are processing it off of the property that we own, and we're taking out the biggest trees to kind of open up the canopy so the smaller trees can grow up, and so that's kind of how you farm the trees. If you started on one of those beams, how long do you think it would take to finish it?
20-30 minutes.
Okay. After a while it doesn't even want to burn anymore, does it? You know, when you burn this, now this is a long-time Japanese tradition, and actually other cultures did the same thing. When you burn it, it makes it kind of fire retardant after a while. Doesn't make it fireproof, but it makes it fire retardant. It doesn't want to burn anymore. And it closes the cells up of the wood, and it kind of seals it and makes it waterproof. And from what I understand, the bugs don't like the charred taste, so kind of makes it bug proof too. But we had done some burning, but since we didn't have a lot of time and we wanted to get everything set up and figured we could go back and burn it later, we're just kind of going over it again to kind of give it a final touch, kind of like a second coat of paint, to get a nice black char on the outside. Now I will wire brush that, so some of that will come off, and it should turn out like a good golden oak color, and then I will use some sort of a sealer to go on that, and that wood should be preserved for a long time. We're going to go ahead and get our tools back together and get back to work, but be sure to get your name in the hat for the video. Okay, I'll edit that one out too. Be sure, don't forget about our giveaways. We have great prizes every month that we're giving out, so be sure and get your name in there for those drawings. Also, we want to thank you very much for supporting our channel by viewing and subscribing. Be sure and share our content if you like it, and also tell your friends about the giveaways too, because they might be interested in getting in on that, and also they may like what we're doing up here. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and
Get back at it.
that's what I was trying to say. So we're going to go ahead and
Get back.
let's just do it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video. Sometimes some of the things that I'm doing up here, especially since I started posting twice a week, was to try to put out a little short video on Monday and then a longer one on Friday. I know that they do vary in length. I don't regularly try to keep them any particular length. It just depends on how much I've got going on up here. But the ones on Monday would be generally shorter. And a lot of the things like I'm doing up here, cutting out these 2x6s, when I'm milling lumber, that's basically repetition. You know, I don't mind showing it once or twice, but you know, to do it over and over and over would be a little silly to try to post that every week doing the same thing. But I do want to kind of keep you updated on what I'm doing and how the cabin's coming along and the other things that we have going on up here. So I will show, you know, once or twice, you know, what I'm doing. And then of course, you know, I have done things like explained the sawmill and explain, you know, cutting out the post and beam and how I do that and stuff like that. You know, these 2x6s, that's just pretty much, you know, milling the log down to, you know, 6 inches wide and then turning it over and just cut 1.5 inches at a time. But anyway, I've got, I think now, the whole side done. On one side, enough rafters. They're going to be on 2-foot centers. And especially with that purlin in there, that will support any weight that I can put on there, even a snow load, and we don't even have that here in East Tennessee. But I have to do the other side, and then like I mentioned earlier, I'll have to cut 6 7-inch beams to go across for my purlins, and then a bunch of little short posts to go up there, but that shouldn't take long. I'll just have to come up with a few more trees to do that. But yeah, it's coming along good, and we're making some headway. I hope to have the roof on in a couple of months. I checked the price on the metal. It's going to be a little less than $1,000, but I will have hopefully the sheeting and the roof put on. Then later on I'll go back in, I'll roll in insulation between my 2x6s, and then we'll put tongue and groove on the bottom side of that. Another thing too is when things kind of slow down a little bit, if I can get this thing on the roof, then I'll get back to doing some more hiking and cooking out. And I do want to start on that base camp down there. I've got all kinds of lumber milled up for that, so I want to get started on the decking. And you know, I got that little hobbit house that I want to build on the end, so that's another project. And also we want to say thank you very much for such a fantastic year of your support and viewing and subscribing to the channel. That means a great deal to us and what we're doing up here. Hope everyone has a great evening. Take care, be safe. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the Outpost in the future.